What a charming, haunting, fun, horrific, wondrous, mortally wounding, life-affirming, murderous time. I have a few observations, so I guess I'll just start firing them out. By the way, this film came out years ago. It's half a decade now, so there are spoilers ahead, yeah. So, firstly, Scarlett Johansson went in the same year from a dead Black Widow to a dead Aryan Widow, which is impressive. Taika Waititi, talk about using all of your brain power, he literally hasn't made a good film since this. Sam Rockwell playing a gay Nazi feels like that was destined from the beginning of time. Thomason, I'm pretty sure, is not a name. What is going on there? And also, never seen a film before where every single character uses a different dialect. But it was pretty funky. Jojo Rabbit stars Roman Griffin Davis. His parents were really trying to shore him up as a conservative early on with that name, huh? As Johannes, a 10-year-old Nazi child who has fantasies about Kiwi Adolf Hitler, and he hangs around with his mother and the Jewish girl that his mother has hidden up in their attic, which prompts him to try and write a book about the Jewish race, which is... But yeah, basically, that's the film. This film is even better than I remember it being, yeah. Taika Waititi as imaginary friend Adolf Hitler is clearly the selling point here, but honestly, it's one of the lesser things for me because there's so many other great things going on, genuinely. Outside of that and the amazing pair of leading child actors, they're both incredible. Like, wow. Like, not seen such a good child actor performance since Home Alone, but for both of them. And then Scarlett Johansson, it is arguably my favorite of her roles ever. Like, she's so good in this. And it's Sam Rockwell, banger of a performance as usual, and Rebel Wilson, it's one of her better performances. This cast is just insane across the board. Like, it's so good, it's so fun, and this film is comfortable with just being so many things. It's comfortable with being, like, true laugh-out-loud comedy, like the opening 10 minutes when he blows himself up. It's really comfortable with, like, gentler comedy. You know, some of the stuff that Taika Waititi's doing is kind of like that, and a lot of what Scarlett Johansson does in her kind of cheerful motherly role, which is so good, is like that. And it's also comfortable having these kind of quick-witted conversations, and then also, like, genuine emotional punches, both of the happier, life-affirming variety and the devastating, emotionally destroying variety. It's so good at just being so many things, and I was underrating this film, even though I liked it already. It is just memorable sequences all tied together by these scenes with Scarlett and Jojo, just the two of them. Or by Jojo and Thomason. And there's so many scenes like that where it's just a couple of characters and one of them is a, like, 10-year-old child actor, but it's so good. Everything that they do. Honestly, like, the moments with Scarlett seem like they're meant to be like the down moments in between crazier happenings. And yet, so they're some of my favorite moments of the film because she is just commanding. I watched Marriage Story at the same time. She was nominated for that same year. She was nominated for an Oscar for this, and I feel like this is just such a better performance, even though it was like the leading one. It's just she grabs you in a way that she just doesn't do in any other role for me. Not to this degree. It does also. The one weird thing I find about this is that this girl, who was his sister's friend, his older sister who died's friend, ends up living in his house, and he falls in love with her. Like, I just feel like in that situation, shouldn't she take on the older sister role? Wouldn't that be the natural thing to do instead of having him, like, showing he has literal butterflies in his stomach over her? Like, but you can't have everything. And this does pretty much have everything else. That David Bowie track hitting near the end, the fuck off Hitler moment, like, it's very solid across the board. It does everything you want it to, and it doesn't, like, there's nothing about the story that feels like you're heading towards a grand conclusion, and then you kind of do more than you're expecting. It's just such a powerful, life-affirming sort of conclusion, I guess. It's wonderful. It's such a wacky, quirky, weird thing, but I feel like the people who did come out and, like, say, like, oh, it's disrespecting, blah, 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 I feel like they just want endless, bleak films on these kind of subjects. And we have those. We've had those a lot. And they're important. They still are. But I don't think it's a crime. I don't think it's a problem to try and use comedy, not to diminish those events, but to light the way through the darkness as you talk about them. I think that's a really smart thing to do. And I think it's okay for films to do that. I don't mind that. So shut up. And it is a film that's not necessarily one of my very favorites, but it gets better every time I watch it, and I really do love it a lot. It doesn't need to cut deep with all of the jokes it does, because they're just there to contrast with the horrors, and I love that about it. So I'm giving that kid was really trying to say, and frankly, I don't give a damn. 4.5 stars. Did it? I think it won 1 Oscar. I think it won an Oscar for the writing, but that's that's cruel. I guess when you have so many cast members who are all crushing it so hard, it's difficult to pick them out as an individual Oscar winner. But man, there should have been some Oscar wins for acting here. I loved it.